Hi and welcome. I am the creative, confident, connected woman, Candace Campbell, and I am going to talk about some hard things today. On social media, there's a lot of the Me Too posts going around to support sexual abuse, sexual harassment, rape, basically any kind of sexual violence. And violence in general, not just against women, but against anybody, is wrong. And it's so sad that we've come so far um, as in humanity. We've come so far. We've gone through so much, and yet this is still something that's such a big deal. Sorry if I'm emotional. This is a really hard topic to talk about. Hopefully I get the courage to actually post this video. So I'm gonna say me too. I am a victim of sexual abuse and sexual violence many times actually, and it's really really sad because it's so common. And with the whole Me Too thing going around all over Facebook, I've seen how many of my friends also are victims of this, and it makes me really sad. But and there's a lot of posts going on right now about, like, standing up and fighting against it. And I definitely think that the people that anyone that hurts anyone in any way should be held accountable for their actions, yes. But this video is for support first. I just want to reach out to every single woman who has ever been sexually assaulted in any way. It is not okay that happened to you, and it is not your fault. I don't care what you were wearing or what you did. If at any point someone does something to you without your permission, it is not okay. And anyone who knows me knows that I am big, big, big on that. My whole life, I have very much always been, this is my body and you can't touch it. Why have I always been that way? Because my innocence was stolen when I was a very, very little girl. And that affected me huge. I'm a lucky one because it affected me in almost a positive way, because it made me very, very strong. And I became very protective of all of this. As much as I also had a lot of issues because of it, I became very strong. And into my teenage years, I made innocence my identity. I fought against, I was the protector of all my friends. We go to a party and I was sober one, making sure everyone was okay. And I remember being like 13 and punching 20-year-olds in the face because they inappropriately touched my friend. So that's who I am. I always have been, and I didn't drink, I didn't do drugs, because I had to make sure everybody was okay. I needed to make sure everybody was safe. And as I became older, I realized that I can't protect everyone, just like I wasn't protected. And there's so many women and children out there that get abused, and so do men. And I think that's a big thing that people don't realize is sexual abuse is real. And as women are becoming stronger, we don't always realize that sometimes we're inappropriate and sometimes we push things too far. It's just a really hard thing to talk about. And to think a man could be sexually abused or assaulted in any way is, we think women are made to believe that we are victims and we're weak and we can't fight against it. And so many girls get sucked into going along with it, and then afterwards feeling horrible about themselves just because it's easier to go along with it than it is to get hurt physically. And that's not okay. But men do also get abused, and it's even harder for them, I think, to probably stand up and admit that that's something that's happened. So I want to say that yes, I think there should be bigger laws, and I think that people that hurt someone should be prosecuted. But futuristically, for anyone who's ever been assaulted at this point, it has happened. It's in the past. It's over. I want the women or men or children that have been through this to have support. So this is my main thing: is please get support. Please work through the emotional trauma that causes. It is something that affects you your whole life. And I have become the creative, confident, connected woman, and I am healing every single day through art and through my writing and through all the different things I do. And every time I'm able to help somebody else, and that's mainly why I wanted to be a life coach in the first place, was because I have been through a lot, and I feel like I can share, and I feel like I can support. And that's the main thing, is feeling like you're all alone in the world after going through something like that is the worst thing. So knowing now, seeing how many people go through this, it's not okay. The next thing we need to do, I feel, as humans, we need to stand up against this. And how do we do that? I'm going to say with love. You don't like something, then share a little love on it. So for the next generation, parents out there, moms, let's teach our kids. I want to help support and teach my nieces and nephews and godchildren and my friends' kids and how to treat each other. And consent. Let's teach consent. Consent. I can't say it enough. Because as women, we often think that we have the right to just grab some guy's butt. Well, I don't know if we actually think that, but I know there are people out there that probably do. So, but like, we don't think it's the same thing, and it is. It's the same thing. And men, teenage boys, please, moms, let's teach them that if a girl says no, it means no. It's not, okay, she said no now, but in a half an hour she could change her mind. That's not okay, and we need to teach this. Share that. Moms, let's teach our daughters self-respect, and let's teach our sons how to treat women. It's such a hard thing, and I know this is such a big topic, and I don't like any controversy. I don't like anything negative. So this is hard, but believe people when they say that this has happened to them, because it's not something that people lie about. And if someone lies about that, then that's really wrong. If a man talks about it, be supportive. If a woman talks about it, please be supportive. And let's teach. Let's go out there and educate people. Because I've been a victim many times, and I know it happens all the time. When I think I was like 20, I want to say I was like about 23 or 24. I was walking home from work at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun was shining. And a man in his late 50s started to talk to me as he was walking home with a liquor bag in his hand and a grocery bag. And he ended up pulling my hair and ripping my sweater off of me and trying to drag me into his house. And the cops were not very nice, not very supportive. That was a very traumatic experience, and I'm very lucky that I was strong enough and big enough to get away. But the hardest part about that was, sorry, I've really not shared this with many people in my life. So the hardest part about that was there was people literally mowing their lawn beside me and this man, and maybe they could have thought I was his daughter. I don't know. People were walking by us on the street, driving by us on cars, driving by us in their cars. And there was this moment where I was in this power struggle with this man, and this young girl walked by. And I was so grateful that it was me and not her, because I don't think she would have been able to fight him off. And in that moment, I got this courage, and I just pushed back, and I said, no, this is not okay. And I just ran. I ran as far as I could. I left my book bag. I was a daycare teacher. I left all my stuff behind and I just ran. I got around the corner and my fiance at the time pulled up. I got in the car and I was shaking. I explained what happened. He lost his mind and we ended up, I got my stuff back and because it was still sitting on the front lawn. And I went to the police station and everything. And, but the fear of every single time I changed my route to work. And I feel bad because, I don't know, I'm a nice person and of course someone says hi, I'm going to say hi. But it was sad because it scared me and it changed me. And, you know, if it had been a young guy who had to said hello, I probably would have walked a little faster and not gave him as much attention because it was an older gentleman and he, you know, he's just walking with his groceries. I didn't feel like he was a threat. And that's sad that I would think a younger guy would be a threat. But, you know, I was more thinking a younger guy would hit on me, so I would be more cautious. But with the older man, I wasn't thinking that. So it made me really sad. And, you know, it changed my perspective on things and how, you know, walking down the street, I don't say hi to as many people anymore. It took me a long time to get confident enough to do that. And I think I would react a lot faster now than I would before because I wasn't ready. I wasn't expecting. And that sort of stuff happens all the time. And it's just really, really unfair that happened. And now that I think about it, sorry, I was like 21 when this happened. It was the first time I lived in Kitchener. So, and this happened when I was living in Kitchener. And it's just very sad that stuff happens. And it's just been there's been so many events. And I remember even a couple years ago, I educated a hockey team, you know, about rape and, you know, if a girl says no, then she means no. And literally I had a guy say, well, you could change your mind in an hour. And I was like, what? No. I'm in stable mindset right now. And I'm saying that I will not have sex with anybody tonight. And it is not okay. And I'm not changing my mind. If you give me alcohol and then start kissing me and something happens, then you are in the wrong. And that is not okay because I have told you no. And even if I change my mind, I've said no. And we need to teach people, young men especially, that is not okay. These men, and these were not children, these were 30-year-old and 40-year-old men who believed that it was okay to feed girls alcohol and, you know, get them to change their mind into having sex with them. Such a hard topic to bring up, but that was an interesting experience, that I felt like, dude, and the one guy was really shocked by this. The one guy, he was like almost upset about the situation. He's like, are you for real? And I was like, yes. And we had a big conversation about one night stands and how most of the time girls go home crying and they didn't even want it to happen in the first place and they drank too much, which technically is sexual assault, and people are like, don't think it is, and it is. It's such a hard topic because there's so many ways this could go, and I don't want to, this is not meant to be negative, but it is hard not for it to be, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or piss anybody off, but I'm sure I can't help but piss people off because no one's going to agree. Not everybody can agree with me. I'm just saying, as a victim in the past, please put yourself in someone else's shoes. And could you imagine for a second your rights being taken away from you and not being able to get out of a position that you don't want to be in? It's a really unfair and just not okay thing. So my stand up against sexual crimes of any nature is to say to all the women out there that this has happened to, you are amazing. You are special. No one has the right to ever touch your body in a if you don't want them to. If someone ever touches your body, it should be in a loving, caring way. To young girls out there, love yourself so much. You are so good. And stand up and say no. Young men out there, women are beautiful, amazing creatures, and we have the exact same value in this world as you do. So please, if you are lucky enough to be in the company of an incredible young lady, you treat her with just as much respect as you would want someone to treat your mother or your sister or your daughter. Please remember that. And to all the men out there who have ever been abused, it is not your fault, and it is not okay that that happened. To anybody in the world who has been abused in any way, it is not okay. So let's stand up together with love and respect for ourselves and for each other, and support each other and help each other and love each other, and let's teach each other to ask permission before you touch somebody. Ask them. Make sure it's okay. And I just want to say to the girls out there, there are good men out there. There are good people in this world. Yes, sometimes people make mistakes and things happen and they shouldn't have, but just like those hockey players who didn't seem to really know that it wasn't okay, though, and even one guy was like, well, I'm a hockey player, who wouldn't want to have sex with me? Like, that was his mindset. That's not okay. Let's teach young people that that's not okay. Not everybody wants to have sex with you. And it's okay for someone to say no, and that's not a disrespect to you. That's about them. And I think that sometimes might be an issue too. So let's stand up and let's support each other. You are amazing. You are a beautiful person, and you matter to this world, and you bring good things to this world. Know that. Please know that. Okay. This is a lot that I'm sharing. But there are good. There are good men. I think as I got older, I wanted to prove that I could be victorious. And I think I put myself in positions that might not have been the best, just to see how it would play out. That's not fair, and it's not right. But I met great guys who were respectful and understanding when I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to. They were nice. So there are good. When I first started dating my partner, we were invited to go to Niagara Falls with a group of friends, and we were really new. Honestly, we had maybe kissed a couple of times, and I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. I don't think I'm ready. And we agreed, separate beds and everything, and ended up, we had to share a bed. There was apparently no other beds available, or the rooms available with two beds. So, but, I talked to him beforehand and just explained the situation and said, I'm not ready for that. I don't know where this is going yet. And I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want to have any sexual anything at all this weekend. That's not what I want. If we want to go, we're going as friends. And he agreed to this. And he was like, I have no intention of anything like that either. He's like, I want to get to know you. And we slept in a bed for 3 nights together, and nothing ever happened at all. Kiss goodnight, and that was literally it. We stayed up all night talking about this stuff, to be honest. And so I just wanted to share that there are respectful people out there, and there are guys that will push it, and we have to. It's not okay, men, I find, wait for the woman to say no, and instead we need to teach people to ask. And it should be both. It should be the woman and the man. Is this okay? Are you in the mood? Do you want this? To me, I grew up with sex is a big deal. My mom was like, no sex before marriage. And the first person I ever slept with was my husband, ex now. But, I had good intentions. So for me, I was always raised that it was such a big deal. It was meant to be significant and sacred and special with someone that you love. And I still to this day feel that way. Like nobody deserves to touch my body unless I want them to. And it needs to be touched with respect. So let's go and share that. Share that with the world. Let's respect and love each other. Let's ask permission. Me and one of my best friends, Beverly, we are big on consent. I can't say it enough. Let's ask permission. Let's share love. Let's share respect with the world. Okay, so I've been talking for like 20 minutes. I hope I didn't lose you. This is such big stuff. I'm so scared to post it. Give me the strength. Okay. Thank you so much, women, ladies, gentlemen, children. I hope I didn't say anything too bad. But you know what? Forget it. I did. And you know, sexual violence is not okay. Violence at all of any kind is not okay. It is not okay for a person to feel they do not have a choice what happens to their body. So let's stay together and share respect, share love, spreading out love. I am sending so much love and respect to all of you. Okay, goodbye everyone. Signing out, the creative, confident, connected woman. Remember, love yourself, treat yourself like your very best friend. Don't let yourself do anything you wouldn't let your best friend do. And remember, your life is your own beautiful responsibility. So take responsibility and fight. Don't be a victim. Be victorious and fight with love and respect.